Hello everyone, I hope you enjoyed the foundation block, and now we are going to do a quick overview of the next block, the cardiovascular block. This is going to be a 4-week block from Discovery Week 3 to Discovery Week 6, and for this mission there's only one spacewalk. You can work through the material at your own pace, and just for this block we're going to have 2 guest speakers. The deferred guest speaker for the foundation block, and then an additional guest speaker for the cardiovascular block. And please check your timetable for details of these sessions. And if you want to have another look at this video at any time, it's available via the link on Canvas. During this block, we will also be embarking on a parallel mission to explore the LEGO Education Build to Launch modules and learn more about the Artemis 1 mission and the wide array of skill sets and teamworks needed in order to achieve the successful launch of a space exploration mission. There's a separate section of Canvas for the LEGO Build to Launch series, and there's a tile on the home page, and we recommend that you have a look at the detailed background information which is available, and there will also be some material there that should help you generally with your learning. There is some preparation needed for the mission roundtable and debrief, otherwise known as the tutorial, and that includes people being allocated to present a brief recap of what you learned from the 2 spacewalks in the foundation block, and the student names will be listed on Canvas. Please make sure you undertake these tasks and come ready to participate in discussion. On the assessment front, there is the group video assignment to keep working towards, and you should also aim to complete 2 short reflections for your e-portfolio. The first to support your written report due in September, and a spin-off reflection to support your final e-portfolio reflective piece, which is due in October. And just a little reminder that there's a number of spin-off resources available via the spin-off tile on the Mission 2 home page. The overview page and the to-do list is structured pretty much the same way as you'll see for all the other blocks. And in this particular block we have our tutorial, the EVA, which is your learning resources to work through, the Meet an Expert session, the Build to Launch module, and also the link to the spin-offs. And the to-do list is divided into your tasks and also the key dates. But just a reminder to go to your timetable for the details of those. For inspiration, we have the wonderful set of NASA Mars Explorer posters, and I thoroughly recommend that you take a look at these. And there's also the list of extension resources for you. In terms of the spacewalk, the layout is standard, and it includes an introduction, the spacewalk aims or learning objectives, explore, which is the learning resources, review, discuss, and extra resources. The learning outcomes for the block are listed there, so it's a good idea just to have a look at those before you start on the learning resources, just so you can keep them in mind as you work through things and make sure that you can tick them off. There are 8 topics to work through for this block, and some really interesting physiology going on there, so I hope that you will enjoy exploring those. There's a discussion Padlet which has 3 specific points for this block and 3 general points, so I encourage you to put some contributions there to share with your fellow students. In terms of review, there are some flip cards for you to work through and check that you know the answers to those. And as for other spacewalks, there's an additional resources section at the end, which includes the list of books available through the university library, and then a selection of resources for extra learning, including videos and journal and online articles. Just for this particular block, we'll be having 2 guest speakers. Dr. Jeffrey Davis is our carryover speaker from the Foundation block due to the public holiday during the Foundation block, and Dr. Sten Odenwald will be our guest speaker for the Cardiovascular block. If you go to the Meet an Expert tile and click on that, there's a biography for the guest speaker. For the webinar, any special information, and just a reminder to go to your timetable for dates, times and Zoom link. There's a recording tab. If we have permission to record, then the link to that specific video will be placed under that tab. However, you can go to our playlist on YouTube at any time to have a look at all the other past recordings. Dr. Davis does not wish his talk to be recorded, so that one will not be available. And then there's a Padlet under the Discuss tab, and that gives you an opportunity to share some thoughts about the webinar with your fellow students. Each of the LEGO Build to Launch modules has its own tab under the General Build to Launch umbrella, and there's the module overview, which gives you some basic details about the module, the videos that you need to watch, and the thought-based activities, which are incorporated into your first group assignment, and then the design-based activities, which will be included in some special tutorials. These will be held in semester 2. And then there are further tabs for the videos for you to watch, the thought-based activities, which will be part of your first assignment, and the design-based activities. Another unique aspect of our course is that we've incorporated spin-offs, or the translational benefits of research done in space. And this will form the basis of your final assignment for the year, so we encourage you to write a short reflection on this at the end of each block. And then there's a long list of resources available for you to have a look at. And this is probably a good point to mention that part of what we're aiming for with the assessments is to help you to develop skills in science communication, as health professionals need to be good communicators as well as good clinicians. With our tutorial, we'll be starting with an inspirational video, and then the recap for the Foundation block, and the allocations and instructions can be found on Canvas. Then we'll have small group discussion of some brainstorming tasks and reporting back to the main group, and finally the debrief for the Foundation block. With the small group discussion, depending on how much time we have and numbers, we will either give you a chance to discuss all 3 of these points, or else allocate one of these points to each particular group. And just a little tip in terms of knowing which group you're in: if you have a look at the top of your Zoom room window, you'll be able to see which room you're in, and that will be your group number. The 3 discussion points will look at a comparison with cardiovascular health on Earth, with countermeasures, and also monitoring and telemedicine in space. Our tutorial will finish with the debrief for the Foundation block. First of all, we'll do some brainstorming about how you think the lessons and research from the Foundation block topics can be applied or translated to help human health here on Earth, what you liked about the Foundation mission, what you perhaps didn't like so much, and what you think could be improved, and any constructive suggestions you might have. And finally, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those. Thank you. I'll look forward to seeing you for the cardiovascular block.